I'll fix the lips in a minute. Aww. Me too. I just made a sandwich. Hey, Brian. Hey, J-Man. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Holden, I am the mom. My mom's too old for kids. I'm just saying. She's about to be 53. Okay. I kind of want to make another one. That was good as fuck. I usually don't eat bologna, but this is like fire right now. Well, I've had it for years. Hey, man. I had it on yesterday, but after the red, I took the red off and then put this one on, but I almost just dropped my food. But, yeah. So I actually went on stream. I wore it last year a little bit, and that's about it. Jesus loves you. So does Satan. Satan loves you too. Understood. There. Woo woo. Ooh, guys. Do-do-do. Motor. What's the price for life? Wow. That song just started playing in my head. Satan wants you to think he loves you. He doesn't and can't. Praying for your friends. I was just kidding, but yeah. We all need prayed for. I was gonna say I don't really need prayed for, but you know what? Yes, I do. Wow, artwork with mayonnaise. We only speak English in here. Toe tat. Tattooed toe. Sister Christian. You knew the song. J-Man, that just made my day. Thank God someone knew. Someone knew. What's the price for life? Damn. That's terrible. Motorola. Motorola. What's the price for flight? Honestly, I don't know. I always say motor and well, I guess I sing motor Ren. So motor Ren, not Rin, but Ren. So like a combination of red and Rin. That's funny. I wonder what anyone else says it is. J-Man, can you look up the lyrics? Yeah. Because now I'm curious. And I would, but you know, I'm eating. You're motoring. Hey, so it is motoring. Oh my god. You're welcome, J-Man. And thank you. See, those are the best kind of friendships. We don't talk about religion, no. Facts. I need to make that a song for on here. We don't talk about religion. Is that a Bruno? Let me put this shit up. No, what's your price for butts? I wish I had ramen noodles, cause I would eat them plain right now. Eat them like they do in prison type shit. Uncooked and just plain. Not gonna lie, my boyfriend put me onto that, and I tried it once, and I fucked with it heavy. And I was like, you know what? Kind of fire. Not me looking for ramen noodles, hoping I can find one. I'm not playing either, I really am. I found these weird little spring cakes. And the thing you paint for Venom. And a ho-ho. And a weird thing here. And another weird thing. And this weird thing. And that weird thing. Guys, I found one. All my efforts did not go unnoticed or to waste. I found ramen noodles. I've never been so happy to find ramen noodles. Wow, where's the paper plates? I have a butt. What's the price for butts? This is my ADHD. Last night when I was on the phone with Eric, because after I got off the live, I tried to sleep for like an hour and a half. And I couldn't sleep, and he was like, call me. Because he couldn't sleep either. He had slept all he could at the time. And he was just talking about how ADHD I am. I was like, yes, I know. He's like, you can't sit still. You can just never, you can't even stop. I'm like, I know. I'm not proud of it. I just don't, I just manage, you know? Because what else are you going to do? Okay, we're good. I got my noodles on the plate. Deadass, I swear. Just so I can eat them. Fire. Christina! That'd be fun, J-Man. Ooh. Guys, here in a bit we have to listen to some true crime stuff. Because Rotten Mango uploaded a new video today. Just a few hours ago. It's about some kind of wealthy woman. So you know we gotta watch that. True. Here, let's just go to Law and Crime for now and see what's going on over there. It's just uncooked ramen noodles. Mm-hmm. Lindsay Lohan's dad just went to jail for assaulting his wife. Crazy. Dad throws baby from van during high-speed chase. What the fuck? We gotta listen to that.
I've been scared for, like, getting locked up, and, like, I'm the one that provides for him, so...
That's Zachary Chervenka. Police say he led them on a high-speed chase, and his baby was actually thrown from his van. That baby's mother later rescued him from the highway.
Oh my God, that's the Garcia right there! Okay, relax. Oh God, please let me out! No.
I have the case out of Ohio, and what happened to Chervenka? Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. A father's instinct should be to put his children first and to protect them at all cost. But 32-year-old Zachary Cervenka did the opposite. And now he's behind bars after a reckless decision to flee from police. Cervenka was wanted on active warrants out of DeKalb County, Indiana, north of Fort Wayne, and that's about 40 minutes west of Bryan, Ohio, which is important in this story. One of those warrants was for obstruction of justice, identity
me
deception,
too,
and
so you're not
theft.
alone.
Another involving resisting law enforcement and criminal recklessness. It's December 1st, 2024, when Bryan police officers in Ohio spot Cervenka at a
The baby
local
was
Walmart
rescued,
with his
so.
family.
Zach, how's it going? He's running. No.
At least he let the mom out of the car to go get the kid. You know he thought that the cops would stop chasing him and try to go save the baby.
Damn, what direction did he go? I see him.
I don't know.
30, he's going. He will be in pursuit. He's heading southbound. South Juvenile.
Well, it just said the mom rescued it, so.
Cervenka flees from officers, taking his 2 children along with him for the ride on a high-speed pursuit. During the chase, he reaches speeds of over 100
Do you want to
miles
see
per
it?
hour, blowing through 8 major
I can show you
intersections
guys. I can put it on
and
the
failing to
screen.
stop at 9 stop signs. Yes, 9. The pursuit continues for about 15 minutes until Bryan police make the decision to call it off for the safety of the children and because of the hazardous weather conditions. Back at Walmart, officers zero in on Zachary's wife, hoping she holds the key to tracking him down.
Let me.
Okay, I know. We'll get there. If he's truthful about him.
Sorry, I'm just gonna set it up where you can see it pretty good. Can you see it okay?
Hello? I'll leave the door.
Can you see it alright?
Said that he called her and said that he dropped off the youngest, the baby boy, in a car seat, heading towards Defiance, just on the side of the road.
Okay.
So I don't know if she said she could take me to that area. I don't know. Should I call back, ask him if I can go back there? Yeah. I know.
I'm with the cops. Did they see the cop?
Cop car? Who are you on the phone with?
My ride.
Okay.
My friend sent somebody on the grocery side of Walmart, but more over towards McDonald's, where the lit up car is.
Hey, Doc.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, here, ma'am, sit in the car. Just sit. The female that was with him just said that he called her and said that he left the baby in the car seat on the side of the road somewhere from here to Defiance. She said she knows one of the roads that she can take me to. Okay. Alright. Okay, bye. Alright, ma'am, if you... Who's your ride? Is this it?
I think that might be it.
Okay,
Yeah.
who is this to you?
I don't even know who this person is. It's just somebody that my friend trusted
Okay.
to come and get me.
Okay, well, you're not going to go with him right now. You're going to go with me.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you believe that he left... What did he tell you exactly? That he just left the baby on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you know, if you take me there, do you know where you're going?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Do you have anything on you? Sharp, nothing? Okay, I just gotta ask you in my seat. If you want to push your bags over, you'll be in the back seat. Okay. And you said going out of town like the way we went for the pursuit?
I didn't know where you went for the
We turned
pursuit,
and
but
we
I'm
went
assuming,
down.
yeah.
Okay, alright, just hop in.
Okay, I don't know if he was planning on leaving or not.
Who?
my ride.
Okay. Well, we'll worry about that
I
later.
don't even care.
Yep, just get in. We'll take you back to the PD after. I'm gonna be going southbound on 127, just past. It's there at 6. I'll keep you updated on my 39 and if I find anything.
Man, I can't imagine.
Sorry, what?
Am I taking this curve?
Yes. The curtain is right here, and there's a stop sign.
Yeah, right.
Just pulled up. See that?
Yep. Is that where he said he left the child?
I think so. Somewhere.
Right in this area. He said, bye. Oh my God, that's the car seat right there.
There's the baby.
Oh God, please let me out. No, please let me out. My baby, my baby, my baby. Oh, rip. Oh, please let me out. Please let me out. Please. Ma'am, please let me out. Oh, rip. 3620. Oh my God. Baby boy. Baby boy. We'll be on the curb on 127 at the stop sign with that child.
Oh, Mama's got you.
Oh, he's okay.
Keep on the ground.
Well, he's alive.
Yep,
So cold.
I know. Get him out.
Baby, it's okay. Mama's here. Mama's here.
Be 127 and 15 curve.
Oh, baby.
I do believe he is
Oh, my baby.
awake. He's crying.
Oh,
We're gonna be on standby for EMS.
Oh, baby. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm so sorry, baby. Oh, God.
Unzip your coat. Put him in your coat. Get him the body heat.
Oh, Mama's got you. Oh, Mama's got you.
Lay down. Here. Sit in the car. Go. Is he breathing? Is he okay? Yes. He's breathing.
Uh-oh. Thank you, J-Man.
Oh, my God, baby. Oh, you're okay. Yeah. Oh, sweetie.
You can't see it. Oh, yeah, you can.
I know you're cold. Mommy's got you down.
Put him in your jacket. That's what I would do. I'd unzip my coat and put it. Matter of fact, I did that a couple times when my son was small. Just even walking into a store.
Can you help them with license? We had a pursuit with the father of this child for a felony warrant.
Okay.
He went this way.
Damn,
He said he was
more
going
of
to
that.
kick the kid out of the car in the pursuit. We didn't see him. And then he called her about 15 minutes ago. Said that he left him here. I just rolled up.
Just left the kid in the damn road?
Yeah. He said he wanted to kick him out in the pursuit. I don't know how long the kid's been out here.
401 bay work.
He had 2 kids.
Do you have any idea where he went?
We traced him all the way. He went west on 6th and Edgerton.
This is from the pursuit. The suspect left the baby on the side of the road.
Officers review the dash cam footage, and they learn that's exactly what Zachary did. Amid the chaos of the pursuit, Cervenka allowed his 9-month-old to be ejected from his vehicle. The newborn was in below freezing temperatures for about an hour before he was saved by his mother. There was no information shared about the 5-year-old girl also in the car. Later that night, Edgerton police arrest Zachary Cervenka and bring him down to the station for questioning.
All right. We'll follow this officer in. And you can just have a seat. I'll be right with you in 1 second, okay?
Right off the bat, Zachary admits he wasn't thinking straight.
Last night I just it was a dumb decision. I should have just honestly, I should have just been honest with you guys about what was going on a long time ago, and I wouldn't be in the situation that I am now. Yeah, I wouldn't have put my kids through that, but you'd be in a lot better position than now. So I've been scared for like getting locked up, and like I'm the one that provides for them, so they'd be without. My parents, Abby's parents don't really do much for her. They get money from us, like $100 a month. So she would have to figure that out, and my kids obviously wouldn't get to see me. But really, like, on top of all that,
I don't have any more brown
just all the
sugar.
stuff with Greg, like, it's just got way too deep. And I was just scared last night, like, I knew if I get pulled over, like, just the mood he was in, that he would be worried that I'm snitching. And so because he's been worried about that, he's helped me, like, get away. But he's also, like, he's caused a lot of this.
So you were aware you had a warrant, obviously. Okay. What did you come to Brian for?
We just come to Walmart so that get some stuff for
Just normal groceries, okay. So, when I arrived, I observed you on the passenger side. Climbed in, hopped right into the driver's seat, it seemed. What was your intention with that?
just I was just scared. I knew, like, if I got pulled over, like, right then and there, that Abby and the kids, I didn't feel, like, safe. I didn't feel like they would be safe. And I know it sounds crazy because I took them.
She didn't think
And put them in
him and the
anyway,
kids
but
would be safe. Her or the kids would be
I
safe.
was
So he
just
drove
I
home
was
and
scared
on
that
the
if I
car.
went to jail,
Yeah.
you would think I was
So much
snitching. I don't
safer
know
along the road
what
than
to,
the
like, do.
highway. You know, so much safer.
I haven't been thinking.
Yeah, so when I made contact with you, when I approached the vehicle,
He's a dumbass.
I obviously observed you in the driver's
Look
seat,
at this.
right?
This makes so much sense. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Almost as if you were going to get out.
Dumb as fuck.
What were you thinking then?
I knew I should get out. Like, I knew that was the choice that I should make. But I was just scared.
The officer tries to understand what changed his mind because initially it seemed as if Zachary Travenka was going to get out of the car.
Yeah, I was gonna get out, but like in that moment, I wanted to get out and just come clean about everything and do what I should have done a long time ago. But then I just didn't because I was just scared.
Okay. So when I walked around and then I said your name, were you aware that children were in the vehicle? Or were you not even thinking about that?
I wasn't even really thinking about it. I knew that they were in it, like, once I had started going and closed.
Yeah, so are you aware with what took place with Ripley?
Yeah.
Do you recall what took place with Ripley?
Yeah.
What do you recall?
He just, like, I went to stop and he wasn't buckled in and he fell out of the vehicle.
He fell out of the vehicle.
Flew out.
Yeah, I didn't
And
see it.
we were going so fast, I didn't see it. And the officer following didn't see it. It was after the fact when I reviewed footage. We seen that.
So the kid
Luckily,
fell out the vehicle. Right.
we were able to find him in time. So he is alive. I don't know if
Yeah, but I whenever called Abby and asked her, like, hey, do you have Ripley, like, the police should have gotten him, you know, but she said no, and I was like, told her where
I
it
hate
happened
this
at.
guy.
so. Obviously, that in itself
You guys just want to listen to
is something that should have never happened.
the Rotten Mango video.
When Travenka sped off, that van door was not closed, leaving the 9-month-old baby
Yeah.
vulnerable. When the vehicle rounded
So we
the
didn't
split
throw
in
the kid out.
highway, the car seat containing
still,
the baby boy
I'm over this
flew
video.
out, bouncing several times, eventually landing in its final resting spot alongside the highly traveled highway.
Did you intentionally unbuckle?
Yeah, me too.
She was put in there and just was not buckled. Yeah, I'll never intentionally, like, do anything for my kids, and she can
I'm over
confirm
this.
that
I can't do it. I was thinking about us watching that one Rotten Mango video. But I don't know. It's an hour. 5 big updates in Lil Durk's murder
Rap
for hire
superstar
case.
Lil
Let's
Durk locked up
listen to
right
this.
now, accused of ordering a hit on a rival rapper, but his defense says the government's only proof that Durk was involved is based on a random video they found on YouTube. And now they brought in music producers who've worked with Durk, and it might just blow up the whole case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by
Oh,
Law Crime.
Eric would love
Jesse
that.
Weber.
Lil Durk right now.
Did Chicago rapper Dirk Banks, also known as Lil Durk, orchestrate a murder for hire plot against Quando Rondo that ended with the rival's cousin dead and multiple people caught up in the conspiracy? Well, that's what the government's alleging, and they point to Dirk's own song lyrics as proof of his alleged actions. That's what we want to
They
focus
can't
on.
do that
The
anymore,
defense
though.
says there is a big problem with that. That Dirk recorded those lyrics months before the alleged murder for hire.
Yeah.
And unless he had a time machine or he could predict the future, there's really no way they could be about this killing, about this alleged murder. So Dirk's team has filed a motion to dismiss the federal indictment against him. Or at the very least,
I mean, they
release
should if it's
information
months
about
before.
what the government showed the grand jury to support the charges in this case. The motion reads, quote, Defendant Dirk Banks, through his counsel of record, moves the court to dismiss the superseding indictment against him in this matter. In the alternative, he moves to compel disclosure of the grand jury minutes and evidence the government presented to the grand jury. Now, before we dive into the juicy details of this filing, I do want to give you just a quick history on how we got here, in case you're not familiar with it.
You're
After the
welcome.
death of his friend King Von back in 2020, Dirk reportedly put out a hit on Quando Rondo, a rival rapper in Georgia that Dirk allegedly believed was the instigator behind his friend being killed. So prosecutors say in 2022, Dirk found out that Rondo was going to be in Los Angeles. So he allegedly organized members of his crew, a rap collective called Only the Family, or OTF, to travel to Southern California and target Rondo. And the government claims that OTF is a criminal enterprise that is engaged in violence, including murder and assault. Investigators believe that Dirk's right-hand man, Kevon Grant, was the one who secured the cars, the hotel rooms, and the guns for this assassination of Rondo. An October 2024 indictment accused multiple defendants of following Quando Rondo's black Escalade around LA on August 19th, 2022. In fact, traffic camera photos show a white Infiniti following the SUV until it pulls into a gas station. And the filing also apparently includes surveillance photos of the suspects appearing to fire guns toward the gas pumps. Yeah, not a great idea. At least 18 rounds were fired at the car in broad daylight,
Damn.
including, apparently, a machine gun. Remember, during a busy afternoon
Yeah,
at a
OG
gas
Snark.
station. This is a blatant attack.
Bringing
Now,
the kid in
Quando Rondo actually wasn't
me.
hurt
Cereal
in
at
the
night.
shooting.
OG Snack.
But it
Yep.
turns out, in a sad turn of events, his cousin, Savia Robinson, referred to as SR in court documents, was killed. When the indictment against several people, including Kevon Grant, came down in federal court, Dirk wasn't even named as a defendant yet. Rather, he was an alleged collaborator identified as co-conspirator 1. However, in a superseding indictment a few weeks later, that is when Dirk was added officially as a named defendant and was charged with conspiracy and use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and use, carry, and discharge of firearms and a machine gun in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death. And while Dirk isn't actually accused of being at the Beverly Hills gas station when this apparent shooting happened, prosecutors say he was the one who called for the hit. He was the one who ordered it. He helped facilitate travel to Los Angeles, and he paid the men who actually did the shooting. Prosecutors allege that Dirk texted a co-conspirator, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." But since that time, Dirk offered a substantial bail package to get pretrial detention. The judge denied it. He has maintained his innocence, and now his lawyers are arguing this whole case against him needs to be tossed out. And it all relates back to rap lyrics sung by Dirk as a feature on a song by another artist, Babyface Ray. And the prosecution claims that Dirk rapped about Savia Robinson's death, commercializing his alleged revenge. So here are the lyrics that the prosecution is talking about.
Maple and
Quote,
brown sugar.
"Told me they got an Addy, go, go. got location, go, go. Green light, go, 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 go. Look on the news and see your son, you screaming no, no. Now, prosecutors seem to claim that the no, no part comes from when Quando Rondo was apparently screaming no, no when his cousin was shot. And they reference how the song allegedly has audio of Rondo screaming that, reportedly taken from news footage. But the defense says that couldn't be farther from the truth. All right, so to talk about this, I want to bring on civil rights attorney Joe Richardson, who I'm so happy to see. I haven't seen Joe in quite some time. So, Joe, thanks so much for taking the time to come back here on Sidebar. Look at that face. Always smiling, always happy to be on.
Good to see you,
Jesse. I'm happy to talk to you about this because this has been a hot topic over the last couple of years. Can prosecutors take what's said in rap lyrics and song lyrics and use it?
No, because it's artistic expression. They're not allowed to use songs
have we seen it
and shit like that.
Has it been persuasive?
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug.
Look at Melly.
They
couldn't do it.
Lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction. He actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted. And I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, and it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released months before the murder. So he can't say in the past tense that I did something that I hadn't done that hadn't happened several months before. So we're seeing it more and more. I don't know if I'd say it's successful, but it's interesting that they've used this to get a superseding indictment.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How can I not bring up legal experts, our sponsor, our partner, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. You know why they're so large? Listen to this. Past few months, Morgan & Morgan secured a $9.3 million verdict for a car crash victim in Florida, $5.6 million verdict for another car accident victim in Atlanta, and not to mention $1.8 million in Kentucky after insurance offered them a mere $5,000 in that case. And look, even if you think your case isn't worth millions of dollars, why not start a claim and fight for what you deserve? Morgan & Morgan makes it so simple. You can start a claim from your phone in just 8 clicks. You don't even have to leave your couch. So if you're injured, you can easily start a claim at forthepeople.com/LC sidebar or click the link in the description and pinned in the comments. Do you know how they typically authenticated a trial? I mean, who do they call to the stand in order to get the lyrics in and say it is what it is? Do you know? I'm just trying to imagine how this might come up at an upcoming federal trial.
Well, there's a couple things, right? First of all, is there actually a reasonable denial that person can make that they actually got on and did the lyrics, right? So it's going to be somebody, I would imagine, from an authentication purpose, somebody that was in the studio, frankly, somebody that they're squeezing that they might know. And here you've got co-conspirators that have been indicted as well. So it's going to be somebody that was there, as it were, because all other things being equal, Lil Durk's not going to get on the stand and testify against himself because most times people don't. So you're going to authenticate it in kind of regular ways. Someone that would have cause to know that these were the lyrics that were made. Now, it's a separate issue entirely as to whether or not you can authenticate or confirm this is what the lyrics were about. This is what they were talking about. Here's the backdrop, and all of those other things become subject to cross-examination, etc.
So I want to dive into this motion to dismiss and get into the meat of it. So it reads, quote, "The government presented false evidence to the grand jury that indicted Mr. Banks on November 7th, 2024. The plain language of the superseding indictment makes it apparent that the government told the grand jury that Mr. Banks, through specific lyrics in his music, celebrated and profited from a revenge murder that he had ordered, namely that of SR in August of 2022. That claim is demonstrably false. The song the government relied upon as evidence against Mr. Banks, Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, a song that was recorded by another artist, Babyface Ray, and in which Mr. Banks recorded a feature for, could not have been a commercialization of Mr. Banks' alleged murder for hire of SR as the government represented to the grand jury. That is because Mr. Banks recorded the lyrics for Wonderful Wayne 7 months before the incident even happened. The government's misrepresentation in the superseding indictment, whether knowing or reckless, undermines the integrity of the grand jury's true bill against Mr. Banks. The court should dismiss the superseding
that's not
indictment
cool.
against him as a result. Now, the defense argues that the court has the power to dismiss an indictment that the grand jury returned based on information that the government knew at the time to be or later learned to have been false. Joe, so you got to have a good foundation here, right? Talk to me about that argument, because I guess the counter argument would be, well, in the end, based on the prosecution's allegations, he did exactly what he rapped about. So it's, maybe it's not necessarily predicting the future. He maybe anticipated what was going to happen and did it.
I think that if I'm the defense, I'm going to focus on the misrepresentation, assuming there was a misrepresentation. Right now, it's a horse of another color. To your second point, if in fact the timing of the lyrics was not important and wasn't presented as such to the grand jury. Grand jury typically has a low standard, right? You just need to show probable cause to show that a crime has taken place, and then you get held over for trial. However, if they made a representation or suggested that those lyrics and that song came out after the murder, and it talked about something in the past tense that had happened, I think that the defense is strong, standing on the foundation, saying you've made a misrepresentation of the evidence, and fundamentally, this thing is sitting on a shaky foundation, and it can't go forward based on the presentation that you've made.
Let me ask you that. If there is even one piece of evidence that's presented to a grand jury that's problematic, does that mean the indictment has to be thrown out? Could the court look at that and say, listen, we don't know if that was the reason the grand jury returned their indictment? It might have been a small piece, but what about all the other evidence they presented? Or is the argument, if you presented one piece of evidence that either was, intentionally or recklessly shown, that was presented, that turned out to be false or inaccurate, is there grounds to throw it out?
That's a good question. The standard is low, right? And so the prosecution is not necessarily going to be penalized for every small error or for every imperfection, as it were, okay? So perhaps it could still survive with the judge saying, well, we don't know if that's the actual reason that they did it. However, the problem that they have here is he apparently was central because the superseding indictment makes him a defendant, and before he wasn't a defendant. He's graduated from not being a defendant to being a defendant. So how is it that this particular piece of evidence isn't key and isn't fundamental? And so, of course, if I'm the defense, that's what I would be saying.
By the way, I didn't mention this. There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, First Amendment, has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is violent, just because a Tupac story is violent, just because a Biggie Smalls story is violent, that doesn't mean that ought to be used to in turn put together the cogs to actually criminally prosecute someone, because there is still free speech.
Now, the counter argument would be, it's a statement. It's a statement that, is relevant. It's on point with the actual issue, the case. How can we not be able to use it same way? If somebody does an interview, like I'm talking about the Karen Reed case, right? She does an interview. Yes, it's a media interview, but technically can be used against you. What you say can be used against you. Let me ask you this, though, about it. If the government was wrong, okay? If the government didn't realize the time frame of it, or even now, they suggest that, it was a problem, we shouldn't have included it. how could they make that mistake, assuming it was a mistake or an error in some fashion? I mean, doesn't that show a potential weakness in the prosecution overall? I'm not saying that's what they're arguing. I'm not saying that's where this is going to go. But if you take the defense's argument as true, that would be a big slip up for the prosecution, no?
Yeah, and I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip-hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. Sometimes
I
they
know.
might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desired use of it, right? And so maybe that's a situation. It shouldn't be. Listen, there's got to be a prosecutor back there that's got the context that knows what's going on in the street. They prosecute folks that are in hip hop culture that aren't necessarily rappers. They prosecute folks that are, accused of being drug dealers, this or that and the other, or in gangs or whatever it may be. And as part of that is understanding the language, understanding what someone means when they say something, understanding manner and timing and all those other things. That's part of their job. The mob speaks in a certain language too. In order to successfully prosecute him, you got to understand the language. So there might be reasons for them screwing that up, but there wouldn't be excuses.
So the defense motion continues, actually. I want to get more into it. It says, quote, the indictment's assertion about Mr. Banks' lyrics, their timing and their meaning is false. When Banks wrote
They're too obsessed
lyrics,
with this
SR's
lyric
killing
thing.
was still 7 months in the future. For Banks to have been writing about SR would thus have been impossible. The only open question is how such patently false information came to be within the grand jury's purview to begin with. One answer is that the prosecutors who prepared and presented the government's evidence knew that the evidence was false. Another is that the prosecutor who presented the evidence did not know it to be false, but the witness who conveyed it did. And the third answer is that the evidence was obtained and presented with reckless disregard for patent falsity. As explained further below, regardless of the answer, dismissal is
Ah!
brings now the
Why does
defense
this
to their
happen to me
next
all the time?
argument to the judge, which is, quote, if the court is uncertain whether the false information that the government presented to the grand jury requires dismissal, the court should order the government to produce the transcripts and evidence from the grand jury proceedings. Now, Joe, we'll get into this argument a little bit more, but generally speaking, I know under the federal rules a court may authorize disclosure of grand jury matters if the defense asks pursuant to a motion to dismiss. I just wonder how often is that request successful to get that material? Because grand jury material is secret, generally speaking, right?
Right, it generally is, and you want to preserve the integrity of the grand jury, but it's almost, grand jury is kind of like this secret thing, and we go and we're not telling you what we're mixing up and what we're putting together, but, we produce an indictment, right? But I would argue that this particular notion, this particular set of circumstances would justify revealing the information from the grand jury transcript because it's directly on point to the presentation that the prosecution made in order to get the indictment. And so it is unusual because you want to preserve the integrity of grand jury proceedings. Grand juries are carried out a certain way for a certain reason. But that being said, in a situation like this, where you could potentially have something go on that's demonstrably false, and you actually make it from not having an indictment to an indictment based on false information that may have been presented falsely, maybe knowingly, and certainly recklessly at least, I think you need to know about it.
Now, let me continue with the defense's argument here, Joe. So they say, quote, the problem
That
with
looks
these
better, don't
productions,
it?
however, is that Mr. Banks did not create these videos.
So much better.
Has failed to show any nexus between these
There we go.
manufactured video clips and Mr.
Told you guys
Banks.
I'd fix it eventually.
These videos were not created nor posted at Mr. Banks' direction. The internet users who posted the videos, including
Alexa looks like a cute dog.
and
Hey,
My
stop.
Mixtapes, are apparently fan pages maintained by people with no affiliation to Mr. Banks or Only the Family, Inc. The court should order production of the grand jury transcripts to clarify whether in charging Mr. Banks, The grand jury erroneously attributed these or other fan page edits to Mr. Banks, as the government has clearly done. And to bolster that argument, the defense included sworn statements from two producers who worked with Banks on this song and other projects. First, you have Justin Gibson, also known as Just Vibes. So he's a producer and sound engineer who says that he had been working with Lil Durk since 2021. And in his statement, he writes, on January 25th, 2022, I had a recording session with Mr. Banks where we recorded the song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, which at the time we called Too Toxic. I loaded the song up around 5:39 p.m. Mr. Banks then wrote the verse right there in the studio, and we recorded the song and finished in less than an hour. Once we recorded the song, I bounced out a rough draft, saved a copy in audio format, and named it Toxic Babyface featuring Lil Durk at 6:33 p.m. After that, we continued with the rest of the session. And now remember, the shooting at the California gas station happened months later, on August 19th, 2022. So the motion includes a second sworn statement, this one from a music producer and audio engineer named Ahmad Sharif. He says, I received Durk Banks' verse and lyrics for Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy from Justin Gibson on July 22nd, 2022, so the month before. After July 22nd, 2022, I received no other additional lyrics or modifications to the original lyrics from Durk or anyone in Durk's camp. And Sheriff then talks about the apparent edits to the song, which includes Quando Rondo screaming, no, no. I have reviewed certain YouTube links concerning the song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy. As a producer and audio engineer who worked on Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, I can confirm that the audio and video clips featuring audio of an individual yelling no, reportedly from a news clip, are not from the original recording. These clips appear to be fan edits, specifically for social media platforms such as TikTok, and are altered, fabricated, and inauthentic versions of the song. Joe, it's a pretty good argument from the defense. Again, if that's true, prosecution didn't figure that out.
Yeah, and you don't even know whether or not what you used actually came
My lips
from
look
the
so
artist.
pretty.
That's one of the big points that they're making here, is that there were things that were edited later, and that's
Hang on,
why
guys.
so
I'll
much
be right
more
back. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this money situated. 1 second. Okay, let me see if this. What about a monkey? Who's monkey? Money? Money or monkey? Come on, I'm trying to hurry up while my parents are still up because I've got to get this sent over. Let me do it this way. I hate doing this from the computer. It's always tragic. Where's my vape? No way. Oh, I missed that person. That's our stream kitty. My eyes look so pretty, don't they? I love them. This is my best attribute. Our neighbor kitty. Yeah, our neighborhood, or friendly neighborhood kitty. Thanks, J-Man. I try with them. I need to do my brows. They're all types of fucked. Jesus Christ, come on, dude. I've got to hurry up. Okay. If we weren't compatible, then all right. Okay, give me a second. Okay, guys, I'm back. I hope you guys are still here. Yeah, all the emojis have eyebrows. That's funny as fuck. Because they do. Damn, bro. Would have been cool to be told something. Thank you, Christina. I'm messaging Eric. Lately, things have been feeling really good. It makes me happy. I wish he was on, though. I miss that man. I always miss that man. I miss that man when he's right here. Because I know. It's not weird that 2 little strips of hair grow over our eyes. That's not weird at all. It's to help keep our eyes protected from dust and dirt and stuff. That way, if things are in our hair or on our face, and, you know, they won't get into our eyes. Our eyebrows will catch whatever it is before it falls. And if it doesn't, then our eyelashes will. And we have it for strictly for protective purposes. So I feel like I should restart the stream. Guys, I'm going to. Come to the new one, okay? I'm going to instantly restart, okay? Instantly. So come to the new one. Motherfucker.